Well, maybe you could speak to the importance then of investing in good gear,
Yeah.
because I think it really is that, right? It's an investment, which,
Mhm.
I mean, when I think about over the sort of canvas of things that you need to have to make projection work, I mean, obviously you spoke to software, which can be very basic. A laptop, can run your media if it has to. And then
Right.
surfaces, there's all sorts of surfaces. So really what you're talking about in terms of upfront investment is getting a projector that's bright enough that can work for what you need. So what would you say about like investing in that gear as it could kind of pertain to doing not just one show, but like many, many
Yeah.
shows after?
My kind of rule is when clients ask me this, I say, look, if you're going to use the projector every week, buy it. If you're going to use it once or twice a year, rent it. Because if a lot of schools will have a projector in their tech booth with a lens that shoots their psych or a screen, and they'll use that for like choir concerts or assemblies or presentations. Absolutely, you should buy that. But like the cost to get a projector or two to fill the psych with the short throw lenses and the computer and the mounts and the cabling, all the little pluses, it ultimately it's years and years of ROI calculations and all that to break even. And then you're stuck with 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old gear. And the other thing is this: investing in good gear, absolutely, but it's the maintenance and the care of it that kind of frightens me sometimes. Because I've seen how a lot of lighting fixtures end up being used and treated in schools. And I don't mean offense, no offense to anybody. I've seen how students can sometimes not take care of their moving light fixtures, and projectors are even more picky, fragile, things like that. So all that to say, yes, investing in the right gear if you're going to use it a bunch. But if you're not going to use it a bunch, it doesn't make sense to spend $10, $20, $30, $40,000 on a system to do something once or twice a year, in my opinion, right?
What are some good I've had this question a lot. What are some good resources for renting? Projector.
Start locally. I mean, like I said, we're in the Dallas area. We do everything around here locally. If you're not around from Dallas, it would be just searching out rental companies in your area, right? But it's, from experience, you'll get a lot of AV companies that might go, oh, you need this many lumens, this brightness, all that. Do a demo first in your space, because look, when I first started, I got a few big AV companies around the country being like, how are you doing this with these little projectors? And I'm like, well, yeah, the math in the projector calculator says it's not going to be bright enough or not going to look good. But in real life, it looks great to different people, right? Because it's all about expectation. And, those calculators don't calculate everything for you, right? So all that to say, be mindful of someone who just says, oh, you need a $1 bajillion projector to rent from us for $1 bajillion a day. Here it is. Have them come to your school and do a demo, right? With different projectors. Like I do it all the time for people around here and around the Dallas area, to show them like this is possible, So I hope that helps. I'd say just start local.
Yeah. No, I think that's, especially that piece that you're talking about it's all subjective. I think I've got a story. Actually, I was working with a lady who was, we had designed some stuff for Shrek, for her. And she was, she was out in California, and she had all these technical directors telling her, oh man, you've got to have, tons of lumens. It's not going to work, because I think she was trying to project like 30 or 35 feet wide, which is a big space. And so technically they were kind of giving her all these big numbers, both in terms of lumens and then also in terms of cost. She was like, oh, I don't have anywhere close to the budget to be able to do that. And when she described it to me, I said, it seems like you could get by with a lot fewer than they're telling you or you think. Turns out, this sounds crazy, Cameron, but I think she had like 5,500 or 6,000 lumens and found a projector that worked, and she was completely pleased with the results. 100%. Loved the way it looked. Felt like it gelled perfectly. It was bright enough, but not too bright, which of course is a whole other factor we haven't even talked about. Right. And so that was a great testament. And I tell that story a lot, because the main thing I want people to be informed, but I don't want them to get scared or feel like there's too many obstacles to even try. And I think in technical areas that can happen because people just assume, well, I just don't know. So what people are telling me has got to be true. So I love what you're saying about just getting into the space and trying things and seeing if it suits your eye. I think that's such a valuable piece of advice.
Absolutely. Thank you. Good. The other thing, we'll talk about lumens real quick, just for some knowledge. Like, I will definitely geek out on this. So back in the day, 20 years ago, a lot of projector manufacturers used to do shootouts with their competition at different expos and whatnot. That doesn't happen so much anymore. And also, you'll see the term ANSI lumens or ISO lumens, white brightness lumens, color brightness lumens, all this stuff. Or sometimes you'll just see lumens. And look, there's not a whole lot of regulation on this kind of world anymore with, if there ever really was, with like what someone can say how bright their projector is. Like you can go to Amazon right now and go find like I think it's like $400 little LED projector that claims I think it's 8,000 lumens. I'm like, no, that's a complete fabrication and lie. So lumens are the way you measure a projector brightness, for anybody listening doesn't know, but it is a complete crapshoot. It's a little bit like gas mileage on a car. How you drive it, where you drive it. The manufacturer of your car sticks a sticker on the window that says, we got 40 mpg, right? Well, sure, maybe once in perfect scenario, right? In conditions. But another little tidbit nugget, like a 10,000 lumen projector is not twice as bright as a 5,000 lumen projector. Okay. There are different color engines. You'll see LCD, DLP floating around. Different manufacturers and different models replicate and generate color differently, and that affects brightness. A lot of single chip DLP projectors like Optima, BenQ, they do all single chip DLP, like I said, and you will see a brightness rating of, let's say, 5,000 lumens. Well, that's white brightness if you show a full bright white image. But their color brightness is horrible compared to that because single chip DLP on those lower end projectors can't replicate the color brightness. So all that to say, there's lots of little nuances there, and just the bottom line is don't trust the spec sheet, right? Like we've done 20,000 lumens on a 60-foot wide cyc, looks great. We've done 5,000 lumens on a small, just a slightly like a 50-foot wide cyc, and it looks great also. But the fabric was slightly different. The lights were different. It's all subjective. So,
wow.
Yeah, the whole lumen rating thing, it's important, but you need to see it in your space first.